So I obviously adore this band. Now, most guys might point out that Megadeth is Dave Mustaine, Dave Mustaine is Megadeth. Whatever your take, whatever your favorite lineup was, Megadeth is huge and impactful, and I wish this band would get way more credit than it currently gets. That's just my view. And for a lot of guys who might think that I'm just trying to be a fanboy out here, I'm not. Okay, I really am not. I will call out the band when it has, perhaps put out less than mediocre records. I will call out the band if, I didn't quite agree with certain viewpoints that they had at the time when they were doing things. But all in all, I would still rate this band as part of my core trilogy. And if you guys know me, you guys would know that, it forms as part of the core trilogy of the other two being Iron Maiden and the other one being Def Leppard. But having said so, I want to get into what I think, for especially you guys who are new, what are the three records that I think are like the best for you to actually start off with, and which I consider as my personal favorites. So number one is Endgame. Endgame was a record that came out about 10 years back, and I think it just covers so many things. It's got the commercial appeal, it's got the thrash appeal. It's essentially an album that stands well even after it was released 10 years later. And I think that the fact is that what I really enjoyed about Endgame was that it's an album through and through that has a lot of diversity. It has a lot of great songwriting, a lot of great, musical pieces and so on. And I mean, when you take the starting instrumental track of Dialectic Chaos all the way to straight to the end, and if you look at albums or album titles like Head Crusher or, the ballad track, which is over here, I think that it's just something that really creates even greater appeal for this album. So definitely worth checking out. The next one, oh man, I can't even understate how much I love this record, which is The System Has Failed. So for you guys who need a brief history lesson, the thing was that when Dave actually got over his arm injury and tried to reform Megadeth with the classic Rust in Peace lineup, the truth is that it didn't quite come together. So he kind of continued with various other musicians, but what we have initially, what was meant to be a solo record, became a Megadeth record, and I'm so glad it is a part of the Megadeth discography, because this album I rate as having the best artwork. Yes, I know, blasphemy, some of you guys are saying, but just to me, that's just my opinion, guys. Don't worry, I'm getting to another record which is the most iconic, again according to me, the most iconic Megadeth album artwork, but I'll come to that in a sec. But The System Has Failed, from all the songs like Kick the Chair, Blackmail the Universe, Die Dead Enough, all the way to Of Mice and Men, and to tracks that are like Shadow of Death and so on. I mean, it is it is so amazing, the kind of depths to which Dave actually searched in terms of his songwriting and how he put things together. Now I know this is not exactly a thrash record like Rust in Peace and so on, but guys, just give this a chance. I'm telling you that there are some phenomenal things to actually check out here. And the good part is a lot of solos were done by Chris Poland. And why do I say Chris Poland out here? Because it leads me to the third record, Peace Sells But Who's Buying. This is the album that changed the game for Megadeth. And this is the album artwork I was just mentioning that is so iconic. I know a lot of guys might say Rust in Peace, and believe me, I love Rust in Peace, but if I had to choose a trilogy of albums and just three, these would be the three. So Peace Sells has amazing songs, and one of my personal favorites is My Last Words right at the end. I mean, oh my god, I just can't get over that introduction and the way the whole song kicks off. The actual tracks of Good Morning Black Friday, Devil's Island, The Conjuring, the actual title track itself, definitely worth checking out. And I think that it just shows, and as I mentioned about Chris Poland, I mean, this is where what was his second record with the band before he left, or he was fired, whatever you want to take it as, but something that was definitely, a demonstration of how powerful his teamwork was with Dave Mustaine. David Ellefson, again, phenomenal, and the late Gar Samuelson, what drumming. I mean, essentially taking this whole album to another level. So that's it, guys. These are the three records that I think, really are worth checking out from the Megadeth discography. It's extensive. There are quite a few records to look at. But if you want to start here. Let me know what you guys think. Put your thoughts in the comments below. And I look forward to talking to you soon. Bye.